All right, let's look at the homework 3.5, problem number 8. Right, so we want to evaluate function y at x equals 0. All right, so let's do that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead plug in x equals 0 so into the original equation. So x equals 0. So that's going to be 0. So you have a 7 e to the y is equal to 7e, right? Then we can just simply divide through by 7. So e to the y is equal to e. So then we can just take the natural log of both sides. It's going to be y is equal to natural log of e is 1. So I think y is going to be 1. So plug in 1. Let's just type it in. Plug in 1. Alright, let's check the answer. Alright, I came back and looks like we got the first one correctly. Alright, second one, we're going to evaluate y prime at x equals 0. Alright, so we have to find y prime. Right, so from here, I'm going to take the derivative with respect to x. Alright, so let's do that. Derivative of that is, so we're going to have to use the product rule. So x is the first guy, y is the second guy. Right, derivative of x is 1 times second y plus first is x times derivative of y is dy over dx. Right, or we can use a y prime. Maybe I should use y prime in this case. So here, just y prime to be consistent with that notation. Right, plus. Right, derivative of that is here, 7 is just a number. Right, derivative of e to the y is e to the y times dy over dx. So I'm going to put y prime. Right, is equal to, right hand side is 7e, which is a constant, so derivative is going to be 0. Right, so we just then need to solve for y prime. So I'm going to shove this guy y over to the other side. And then I'm going to collect the, I'm going to factor out the y prime, right? So by factoring out the y prime, maybe here, all right? So I'm going to put y prime. All right, so what's left is, let's see, if you pull y prime from here, you have x left over. And if you pull out the y prime here, you have a 7e to the y, right? So that takes care of this term and that term. Right, then you want to subtract y from both sides so that I can push this guy over to the other side. So it's going to be just a negative y, right? Then we can just divide through by x plus 7 e to the y. So we have y prime is going to be a negative y over x plus 7 e to the y. Right? We don't really need the parentheses, so here, yeah, so we have that. Alright, then we just need to plug in x equals 1, so x equals 0, sorry. So we have, so if you want to find y prime of x is 0, it's going to be, alright, when x is 0, y is 1, so I'm going to put 1 here. Alright, x is 0, and e to the 1, so it's going to be 7e. Right, x is 0, y is 1, so it's a 7e to the first power. Alright, so let's type it in. Alright, so we got the negative 1 over 7e. Alright, so let's check the answer. Alright, I came back and looks like we got the y prime correctly. So let's find the y double prime evaluated at x equals 0. Alright, so let's do that. Alright, so we're going to take another derivative. So here, we're going to take another derivative. So with respect to x, right? So it's going to be y double prime. And then all I have to do is just use the quotient rule. All right, so you have a negative sign in front, so I just put that and forget about it. And then square the bottom, so you have a x plus 7e to the y squared, right? So derivative top, so you have a dy over dx, or y prime, right? Times the bottom, so you have x plus 7e to the y, right? Minus, top is y, right? Then multiply by derivative of x plus 7e to the y. So it's going to be x, derivative of x is 1. 7 is just a constant multiple. Derivative of e to the y is e to the y times y prime, right? Then all we have to do is plug in x equals 0. And also we know the y value, y equals 1. And then we found the y prime is going to be negative 1 over 7e. So that's the answer from the before. So you have a y double prime of 0 is going to be, right, there's a negative sign, right? So x is 0 and y is 1. So you have a 7e squared on the bottom, right? So then you have a y prime is a negative 1 over 7e times x is 0, and not going to write that, and then y is 1, so it's going to be 7e minus y is 1 times 1 plus, right, you have a 7e to the y, because y is 1, and then y prime is again negative 1 over 7e. Right, so it looks a little bit congested here, but you can see you have 7e and 7e cancel out, 7e and 7e cancel out, so we have a 1 minus 1, so this is going to be actually 0. So we can cancel, we can ignore the whole second term, and the first term is going to be negative 1 with the negative sign, so it's going to be a positive 1 over, you have 7e squared, or 49e squared, same thing. Alright, so let's type it in. Alright, we have 1 over, alright, 7e squared. Alright, let's check the answer. Alright, it came back and looks like we got the last one correctly. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.